Well, guys, this is a great day. I made it home from Mini Meltdown 2026, and what a great time. I had some ups, I had some downs, I had some amazing experiences. I bought a whole bunch of new stuff. As you guys can see, I got some new tires. Tires are much cheaper in the USA than they are up here, so it's always good to stockpile on stuff. I'd like to do some shout outs. There's a couple guys at that show that I'm gonna say thank you to. They helped me out unbelievably. Without them, I would have not made feature. Spoiler alert, I made feature. After the heat, the back of this car was in some pretty bad shape. I had one guy called RJ. He gave me a new rear hub. I ended up hitting him really hard in the feature. Sorry about that, RJ, but I was kind of out of control. The other guys, Landon, Sears, those guys made it so that I could get into the feature with a lot of help. They actually helped me as soon as I got there. You guys seen the video about me breaking the axle. If it wasn't for those guys, I wouldn't have been able to make my own axle spacers. And they were able to lend me their welder and their torches for the back. Guy Raymond for bringing torches so that I could cut a lot of steel out to get past tech. And Jeffy from Jeffy's Fab Farm. You know what? I got there on Friday. Jeffy had just pulled up. I had already broken an axle before anything even started. Jeffy went into his trailer and got me parts to help me put this thing back together the day before the Derby in the pits. Shout out, great experience. I buy a lot of things from Jeffy and zero complaints. Nice guy, great products. I use them all the time. So let's start out by saying the Illuminati was the talk of the Demolition Derby. A lot of people seen the build on this video. A lot of people are interested in it. A lot of people online actually thought that hadn't watched any of the build series, because I haven't finished posting most of it at this time, actually thought this was just a 3-liter Camry. Boy, were they wrong. Overall, for a first time with no test and tune, there was a lot that I liked, and there's a lot I would change. But this was the very first time I have ever had the promoter come to me in tech and show me emails from people that said they would not run against this car. That felt weird. Cool, weird, shitty, but cool and weird. So I'm gonna kind of get into a early aftermath right now, and I'll do a much better aftermath or what happened when it's in the garage. But basically, we drove there. The drive there was good. We stopped quite a bit. Had a little bit of a delay at the border. Nothing too much, nothing to write home about. The gentleman at the border said, is there not any demolition derbies you could go to in Ontario? So yeah, I do go to those too, but I like going to Meltdown. I like the way that these Yankees like to hit me. So he got a giggle out of that, and he let me through. And anyway, we drove down there. Interstate was good, no nothings. We get to Meltdown, I back off the trailer, and I still have never test and tuned this. I drove it out of my garage and I drove it to its parking spot, and then I used the payloader to put it back in the garage because it didn't have brakes the first time I drove it. So then I put it back in the garage, bled the brakes, drove it on the trailer, parked it, took it to the US. So this thing had 0 kilometers on anything. And the first thing I did was maybe give it a little too much gas, and I broke an axle. So that sucked. That sucked a lot, and it kind of put a huge damper on. Like, I had just driven. It actually took me 11 hours this year to drive to Meltdown. Google Maps is not 11 hours, but it did take me 11 hours. So I get there, break an axle the day before the Derby. So that sucked. Big shout out to all those guys I mentioned earlier that helped me supplying parts and time and just asking me. And we got through it and got this thing ready for tech. Tech opened at 7. I was there at, I think, at 7:21. I think I was the second person in tech on Saturday, and I needed that extra time. I needed that extra time so bad. So apparently, the story goes, the promoter got a whole bunch of messages from people that said they would not show up to his show if this thing passed tech. And they were sending him screenshots, and they were telling him what I did, which I don't know if you guys know, but I'm gonna be brutally honest, 90% of what I did to this car was told to the promoters ahead of time. And it was asked if I can do this, if I can do that, if I can do this, if I can't do that. And I will admit, I did go over the rules a little bit because you gotta. Guys, you gotta go over the rules. If you're not going to, if you're gonna go right to them, anyway, that's a topic for a different video. So I will admit, I went over on a couple of the things they said I could do. And do you wanna know what happened at Tech? They said to me, we told you you could do this, but we didn't tell you you could do that. And we didn't tell you you could do that, and we didn't tell you do that. So I had to cut that stuff out. I went to Tech at like 7:20. I went back to Tech at about 9:45, and then I went back to Tech at, I think it was like 10:30. And I passed the third time because when I went back the second time, they found even more stuff that they didn't like. But I had to play the same game that everybody else did. I had to cut the stuff off that was not allowed to be there. Did I have a hard car? You're fucking right, I had a hard car. I think these new bodies are extremely hard cars. Do I think they're out there to change the world? No. Do I think that 92 to 01 Camrys, and I know you're going to say there's 92 to 96 and 97 to 99 and 92 to 97, sorry, 92 to 01, everything's interchangeable. Do I think those cars are incredibly strong? Yes, they're going to run out. They are going to run out. Roundbacks are going to run out. Square body Vics are going to run out. Square body HD Vics are just about 100% gone. Finding one, unbelievably difficult. But they're still out there. But they're going to disappear. And it's crazy to me that Meltdown 10 years ago, well, 7-8 years ago, used to be 25 W bodies, 25 Honda Accords, VWs, Honda Civics, like all these random cars. Now, I believe there was 6 heats of about 18 to 20 cars in each heat, and I think all of them were Camrys in there except for 3 Accords, two W bodies, and one W body didn't make his heat because his starter gave out, but he made the consi. But I kid you not, I think every single vehicle there was a Camry in the economy compact except for maximum 10. That is crazy. You are going to run out of Camrys before you guys know it. I have no idea where this topic started, but I've lost topic. But what I'm happy with this thing. Do I think it's the future? It could be. But I also just watched a Hyundai Sonata win NWA class over a Colorado and Caravans. So what is up with that? Like, there is other tough cars out there. Do you think Camrys are the toughest car? I think they are one of the most understood, most readily available, and easily to deemed a win out of, yes. Do I think they're unstoppable? No. This thing was not unstoppable, and I took a Camry and put a W body in it. It sounded phenomenal. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. What took me out? I think what took me out was me being a little bit too overconfident in my front end, and the fact of the matter is there was a lot of cars out there and it had just poured rain right before it. I was the only car in the feature without V-treads. If I had these 23 15s, I would have ran those, but I didn't have them at the time. So I think I had a disadvantage with tires. I think I had a disadvantage with track. I had an advantage with power. I definitely did, but it couldn't do me any good because I couldn't put the power down. And I took a bad tire shot that snapped the tie rod. And before you guys tell me, oh, you should reinforce your tie rods, I do. You're allowed to reinforce your tie rods for this show, so they are reinforced. They are Camry inners with W body outers, and they are welded, and they are reinforced. But it broke on the reinforcement, so it was a good shot. Oh. And the guy that got the shot, kudos to him. Well placed, well timed. Got me. So at that point in time, I will admit I was trying to drive to win. I didn't think I was going to win because Derby at a shows like this is always a numbers derby, and I didn't have any numbers. Yeah, I think I had one. But so I figured I cannot wheel this thing for 45 minutes with a broken tie rod. So let's wreck some people's day. And this wrecked a couple people's days. I think there was 2 people that this thing wrecked their day instantly. And I got hit pretty good. And the best thing that you can do when you get hit is give people a thumbs up and fucking cheer them on to do it again. So that happened, and I actually did break this axle on this side at the spindle because I was getting a little bit rammy and I couldn't steer, and as soon as I put it in drive I would rip the wheel out of my hand because I don't have power steering in this, and it was a lot. And later did I find out that it was probably good that I broke this axle when I did, because the whole transmission is cracked right in half. So I wouldn't have been going much longer, and it probably would have thrown hot transmission fluid onto my headers, which, if you guys know, that is no good potatoes. So we will do a much deeper review and go through this and future plan ideas for this. But we will go through all of that in an upcoming video. We'll have it up on the hoist. I already have a rough idea of what I think I have to do to this thing, because as this thing sits, I believe after the drama this year that they are going to change. Oh my goodness. I believe they're going to have to change some rules at Meltdown for next year, because I openly told them that if I had more time, I told them what else I was going to do. And they told me to stop. They told me to stop doing what I do. So they don't change them, next year is going to be interesting. If they do change them, I'll have to do something even different. But so here's what we're going to do. We'll do a much better in-depth on this once we get inside the garage. I wanted to let you guys know that I had a great time at Meltdown. I got to meet a lot of people that I am friends with. I got to hang with a lot of people. I had some good conversations with some Americans, some Canadians. Really good group of guys. And I say, if any of you guys are out there and you want to really feel the camaraderie, these guys gave me parts to one of the most unlike cars at that show to get me into the feature. That was phenomenal. Here in Ontario, they tell you to go F yourself and walk away. These guys gave me their welder, they gave me their torches, they gave me their rear wheel bearings, they gave me donuts. They did, because I came super, to be honest, I didn't think I was going to make it to the track. So they gave me 100 times more than what I could have asked for, and I'm so grateful for that. And if you guys want to see what this sport is really about, I say get your asses down to Meltdown. DNA Motorsports has taken over from Spinning Wheels, and you know what? The tradition lives on. The camaraderie of that place is amazing. The people, the skills, the friendliness, the helpful hands. Guy comes up to me and says he wants a piece of my door wrap to remember me by. And I right there, as I was driving into the ring, I said, rip a chunk off. And he ripped a chunk off my door skin and took it in. These guys would give you the shirt off their back. And nothing but praise to them, because I had fun back when it was Spinning Wheels, and I had fun when I got my ass kicked years ago. I had fun when it was DNA Motorsports, and I had fun when my ass got kicked this year. I will say I love it there. I think the track is amazing. I think that the stands are set up fantastically. The bloomin' onions are cooked to perfection. And it's awesome. So we have to get everything unloaded. We have a lot more to do here, and we have very little time to do it. And I need to message some promoters here in Ontario to see what I have to do to this piece of shit to make it pass their rules. Because I really don't think this thing is going to pass 2027 DNA Motorsports rules, because I may have let my tongue slip on what I wanted to do to it and what I didn't have time to do. And all the tech line was just standing there saying to me like, oh, you can't do that. I said, oh yeah, what's that rule say? And what's that rule say? So this part can go on there, right? Anyway, fun times and lots of entertainment and lots of excitingness. So make sure you guys come back for the actual aftermath where we remove the hood, we remove the tires, and we take a look at what parts broke, why they broke, and what I could have done to make them not break. I think the simple answer is to have driven a lot more sensible and not go nose to nose with two cars at once. I think that's what did it. I think there was another 03 and newer Camry out there, and there was an old Camry, and they were both coming at me, and I said, I'll take on you both, and I fucking lost. So I think that's what killed it. So I think if you put a different driver behind the wheel of this that wasn't as gung-ho, I think this car would have done a lot better. But I always find when I build something and I really want to test it, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes on my first one, and I will purposely drive it really, really hard and put it in situations that it should never be in, so then that way the second one, I know where the first one failed. So I had a lot of people ask me, is the 3100 easier to put into these ones or the old bodies? 100% the 3100 is easier to put into this style car than a 92 to 01. The subframes are set up completely different. The subframes in these actually work with the motor and transmission combination. If they don't change the rules, a 3100 will be going into a different make and model maybe next year, so stay tuned. But we got to get unloaded, and then you guys got to come back here. Make sure that you guys leave a like and a comment, and if you were one of the 18 or 19 or 20 people that sent the promoter a message about this car, thanks for watching, guys. It's people like you that make me want to put out more and more content. I love it. I never thought I'd be famous for being hated, but thanks. See you guys back here later.